Are you a fan of the Dragon Ball Super card game? If so, check out QueenCityGaming.com for sealed product, singles, and more. Just use promo code MafubaJar-10 to save 10% off your order every time.
Welcome back to the Mafuba Jar. We've been sealed away for another awesome deck profile. And today, guys, I'm going to be profiling for you a budget version of the Goku Black Zamasu deck that just came out in Assault to the Sands. Now, I say budget version, but there really isn't too much of a difference between a budget version and the regular version of the deck. Like, the only real difference there would be between a budget version and the regular one is that the budget version is not going to be including the secret rare here, because even though for secret rare it's not the most expensive, secret rares are of course still expensive, and that's still a lot of money that a lot of people don't want to shell out. And the other one is going to be the Goku Black Unforeseen Darkness. Now, as good of a card as this can be, my personal opinion is that the current price of this is not justified. Again, my personal opinion, a lot of people may disagree with that, but I personally feel that the current asking price for this card is completely outrageous. So I decided to give you guys a version of the deck that doesn't include those, yet still has the exact focus of the actual deck. So let's go ahead and take a look at the brand new leader here. Goku Black and Zamasu, and under the characters, this is a Goku Black and a Zamasu. So this does open up some creative possibilities. And the auto is with this card attacks, you look at the top 5 of your deck, choose up to 1 blue or yellow Goku Black or Zamasu and add to your hand. So every turn you're going to be able to search a Goku Black or Zamasu. So the consistency on search is just really great with this leader right here. His awakening is also extremely interesting. This card awakens when your opponent is at 3 energy. So, first of its kind, there's nothing else like that yet, but you get to restand energy and draw a card. And on the reverse side is going to be Fuse Zamasu Supreme Strike. Now, this card right here, like your leader, is the win condition. So he's got 2 autos and 2 activate mains. The first 2 autos or as such. The first one is the exact same as the other one before. When he attacks, you do the top 5 Goku Black Zamasu. I'm really glad that that auto did not get changed. Like, the fact that the auto is both sides is really, really awesome. The second auto is that when this card attacks a leader card, this card gets minus 5,000 power for the duration of the turn. Which, that's perfectly fine. I at first thought that was a problem when I was first still seeing the leaks, but with how the deck runs, that's really no problem whatsoever. Now, the first activate main is your win condition. And is that once per turn, if your opponent has 8 or more energy, choose up to 4 cards from your opponent's life and place them at the bottom of their deck in any order. And when it comes to the game now, a lot of people force themselves at 4 life just so they can awaken. So with that, all you have to do is just make sure they have 8 energy and boom, you kill them with just 1 skill right here. And it's really, really satisfying when you're able to pull it off. And with everything in this deck, you can pull it off more often than you would think. And the second activate main is also once per turn. You pay an energy and you choose one of your opponent's battle cards and return it to the owner's hand. Which that could come in handy for really big beat sticks that you just don't want to deal with. So that does it for the leader here. As I said, the leader himself is how you win the game. Which I love leaders like that. And now let's get into the actual deck. Going to be starting off, of course, with our super combo. It's going to be 4 copies of Elegant Assistant Headless. Now, this is the only card in our deck that's not blue or yellow. So you definitely don't want this in your energy. But it's a super combo for gods, to where if you combo with it, if you're at 4 life or less, you get to discard a card and draw 2. And yes, I know it's technically a Universe 2 super combo as well, but come on, it's the god super combo. We all know that. And it's still currently the best super combo for any god leader. Because it doesn't matter about color, it just has to be a god. So that's really, really cool. Speaking of gods, going to be running 3 copies of Beerus Fickle God. Now, I have an extreme love and hate relationship with these cards, like this and the Broly that we got in this set. Because they're great to run in your deck because they have the potential to ignore energy exhaust if there is another card that's blue or yellow other than this card. So that's really, really cool right there. But I hate the fact that I have to run 3 to 4 cards just to have an energy that doesn't, come into tap, you know? So that's where the whole love thing hate comes in. It's a core card for this, absolutely. It really comes in handy. But again, I just hate that I have to make room for this. But as I said, energy exhaust is a completely viable restriction, so I really shouldn't be complaining too much. Alright, next up here, gonna be 4 copies of Goku Black, Evil's Accomplice. Now this is gonna be the card that you almost always play on your second turn, or when you have 2 energy. So he's a 2-drop with Deflect, so that's really awesome right there. And his activating main is once per turn, you choose 1 card in your hand and put it in your drop area, then choose up to 1 mass replication from your deck, activate it. And these are the mass replications right here. So I'm running 2 copies of these. Now this takes care of quite a bit of the defense in your deck. So it is a field card, and has a permanent where shadow tokens in your battle area can't attack, but they gain blocker. And this deck has quite a few ways to shell out tokens, so that's really awesome. The auto is once per turn when you play a Goku Black in your battle area, if your leader is a Goku Black or a Zamasu card, play 1 shadow token. So really awesome. Is that it just spams out blockers every turn you play a Goku Black. So that's really cool. And speaking of blockers, we have 4 copies of Zamasu the Mastermind. Now this is what like the whole Goku Black Zamasu archetype needed for so long, and we finally got it. So it is a blocker that you get to play for free if a Goku Black is in your battle area or leader area. So beginning in the game, hypothetically, if you're unawakened, you're gonna spam these out like crazy. Only thing you have to be careful is that once your leader is awakened and you don't have a Goku Black out, you can't play him for free. But that's not really gonna be an issue because you will 9 times out of 10 have a Goku Black out. So speaking of the other Goku Blacks, here's the first one we're gonna be running. It's going to be 4 copies of SS Rose, Goku Black, Inviting the Darkness. Now it's a 3-drop with Barrier, so not bad right there. Auto is when you play this card and your leader card is Goku Black or Zamasu, add the top card of your deck to your energy. So this is essentially the deck's very own version of Whis, to where instead of a 4-drop, it's a 3-drop. So that's really cool. And it's essentially your objection of the deck too. And his second auto is that when you play this card and your leader card is a Goku Black or Zamasu card, at the end of your opponent's next turn, reveal the top card of your opponent's deck. If that card is a battle card, place it in your opponent's energy in rest mode, otherwise draw 1 card. So this is the first way of how we're going to be making sure that our opponent gets to 8 energy. In which, yes, it is a bit of a risky strategy, but at the very least it does come into play in rest mode. So we don't have to worry about them getting access to that energy right away. So that's really cool. And another Goku Black, which personally is an amazing one, is going to be 4 copies of Goku Black the Replicator. Now when I did that tournament with Zamasu, I only ran 3 of these. That was a big mistake. Like, you've got to run 4 of this guy here. Like, honestly, he's like one of the biggest key components of the deck. So his auto is a very lengthy one. When you play this card and your leader card is a Goku Black or Zamasu, choose up to 1 of your opponent's battle cards, place it in your opponent's energy in rest mode, then play 1 shadow token. So, right here when you play this Goku Black, if mass replication's out, you get a blocker token. If you play Goku Black the Replicator, you get the token off of this and a token off of mass replication. So that's 2 blockers you could spam out right there. And the effect's not done. And if your opponent has 3 or less energy, you reveal the top card of your opponent's deck. If that card is a battle card, you place it in your opponent's energy in rest mode. Otherwise, you draw a card. So, say if your opponent is wise to your deck and doesn't charge after their second energy. Let's just say hypothetically. And you go ahead and play this guy to set one of the things in their energy in rest mode, make it 3 energy. Then the other party auto will activate, and you could potentially have them have 4 energy instead of 2 that they had. So it's really hard to play around this because the deck has ways to answer opponents who will try to play around this deck. So I really do like that. Alright, now for the Zamasu cards here. First ones are going to be, for more Zamasu stuff, for more Zamasu cards. Fuse Zamasu the Cunning. Now this is a really great card. I almost ran this at 4, but I really do like it at 3. So he is a counter attack to where you can pay the energy, negate the attack, and play him. He is indestructible, so there are some things that can get rid of indestructible, like reducing his power to 0, or negating his skills and removing him. but indestructible stuff is still pretty hard to get rid of. So then he has Aegis Blue Yellow, and what that means is that you get to pitch cards that match the colors, and you get to resend up to 2 energy for the colors that were pitched. And he, of course, does have energy exhaust, which, again, perfectly understandable. And his permanent's really cool too, is that if your leader card is a Zamasu and it's your opponent's turn, you reduce the energy cost of this card in your hand by 2. So instead of paying 4 energy to negate an attack, you just have to pay 2. And it's a 14k beat stick that your opponent's going to have a real hard time getting rid of. So he's really, really versatile. Not to mention with the age being able to restand the energy too. Like, he's a great card. Great card overall. And now, one of the biggest power plays of the deck is going to be 3 copies of Fuse Zamasu Divine Providence. And yes, I understand the irony of me profiling a budget deck, and I'm using 2 SPRs in here, but the regular version is extremely cheap, so you don't have to worry about that. So he's an 8-drop, indestructible. He does have Union Patara, which consists of 4 blue and 2 yellow, on top of a blue Goku Black and a yellow Zamasu. And his auto is when you play this card with Union, your opponent reveals their hand, and you choose up to 2 cards from it and add it to their energy in rest mode. So this is a really powerful card in many ways. First off, it's a 30,000 indestructible beater. Secondly, it allows you access to your opponent's hand, which that kind of information alone could really give you the advantage of the game. Not to mention, you get to pick the cards to put in rest mode. So say, for example, they have 2, you see 2 really troublesome cards there. Just go ahead and add them in rest mode. You see 2 super combos there. Go ahead and add them in rest mode. So it's a really powerful card. And more than half the time, your opponent's going to be at 6 energy before you play this. When you play this, boom, that's the 2 cards right there. That's the 8 energy. Go for the leader skill and kill them. So this, most of the time, is going to be your end gamer right here. But if not, once again, indestructible, 30k beat stick, you see your opponent's hand, you remove 2 cards from your opponent's hand. So it has a lot of purposes right there. Alright, now we're going to get into some more of the extra cards here. First one is going to be 3 copies of Plan for Destruction. Great card right here. Arguably one of the most unfair cards in the whole Goku, possibly the most unfair card in the whole Goku Black Zamasu archetype. So it's a 1-drop activate battle. If your leader card is a Goku Black or Zamasu card, it gains 10,000 power for the duration of battle. Then if there is a total of 7 or more energy between you and your opponents, you place this card from your drop area in your energy and rest mode. So it's another great way to excel yourself with energy, not to mention trying to defend yourself. Because we do run a lot of defense cards here, because if there is one weakness to this deck, is that it's not a fast deck. Like, this right here is a pretty slow deck. So we need like all the defense as possible that we could possibly get. And speaking of defense here, one of the most busted defense cards we have here is going to be the 4 copies of Senzu Bean. So you all know what Senzu Bean does. For those of you who are new to the game and don't know what it does, it's a 1-drop blue. Activate battle, you choose up to one of your cards. It gains 5,000 for the duration of the turn, so it could be a leader card or battle card. So it gains 5k for the duration of the turn, and then you get to switch up to 2 of your energy to active mode. So great defense card. Sorry about the explanation, but again, I know there are people who are just now getting into the game and maybe have no idea what this card does. So I figured I'd give that quick little explanation for you guys. And now, the negates. Boy, we're playing a lot of negates here. So first of all, I'm running 1 copy of All Too Easy. It's a counterattack. So where if your leader is blue, you negate the attack, then choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards with an energy cost of 1 and return to its owner's hand. And the permanent that all the new negates in this set have is that if this card is in your drop area, you can activate it by paying its energy cost and removing it and 1 blue card from your hand from the game. So it's essentially 2 negates in 1 card. But the auto is that when you activate this card, you can't activate All Too Easy for the duration of the turn. So it stops you from activating it 2 times during the same turn, which that's justifiable. Kind of. Like it would have been nice if that auto wasn't there, but I do understand why Bandai put that there. Alright. Next up for negates. We're going to be running 3 copies of Dimension Magic. To counterattack, your leader has to be blue. negate the attack, then switch up to 2 of your blue energy to active mode. So it's essentially a negate, it's almost a negate version of Senzu Bean. And its permanent is a Sparking 5. That means if you have 5 or more cards in your drop area, you get to activate the counter by taking a life and energy to your hand instead of paying the energy cost. So really comes in handy. Especially because filling up your drop area is not exactly going to be difficult. Alright. Next up here, we're playing 3 copies of Whis' Coercion. Now this is a card that many of you have not seen in a very long time. I still really like it because it is still a free negate, essentially. So you pay an energy to negate, then you get to choose up to 1 of your energy and switch it to active mode. And that's a little hidden thing that some people don't realize. You get to switch any energy in active mode. So say if you have a blue energy, I pay it to negate, you get to switch a yellow energy in active mode. It does not matter the color of the energy. And it really comes in handy because we're also going to be running 3 copies of Flying Nimbus. I told you guys there's quite a few negates in here. So really great card. You get to negate the attack, then you place a yellow card from your hand in the drop area, then your opponent can only attack 1 more time with battle cards for the duration of the turn. So the best time to get them with this is that if they attack with their leader first. So they attack with the leader first, you go ahead and play Nimbus, pitch the yellow card, then they can essentially only attack 1 more time. So this is great against Storm decks because one thing I can tell you for a fact that this deck does not like is Storm. Like anything that can just spam things out really quickly and just deal quick damage. Like the deck doesn't do too well against that, so that's why we have the Flying Nimbus in here. Not to mention the Nimbus is still probably the best yellow negate out there. Whew, alright, for my last 2 cards, 2 copies of Mafuba! Alright guys, I promise this is it for the negates. No, like, I was not kidding. We are running a lot of negates in this deck. So, for those of you who don't know, Mafuba is a counter to a battle card attack. It negates it, and you get to place this card on top of the battle card. And all of its skills are negated, they can't activate anything. It technically does not count as a battle card until the end of your opponent's next turn. So that card is stunned for all of their current turn, all of your turn, and all of their next turn as well. So that's really does come in handy. Like, there are certain like really powerful battle cards to where Mafuba is the only way to deal with them. So, really great card. Alright guys, so that does it for my budget version of Goku Black Zamasu. If you guys really enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a smash to the subscribe button, hit that notification bell, give it a like, and comment down below. And with that guys, hope you all have a fantastic day. And one more thing that I just really wanted to repeat myself on again. There's really not much difference between the budget and the regular version. Just add these in here and you've got the regular version. So if you happen to have those cards on you, great. Just add these in places you would want to add them, and boom, you've got the regular version right there. Can't stress that enough. Alright guys, I hope you all have a fantastic day. We'll see you guys next time, and you've all been released.